Most people don't end up in toxic relationships because they're stupid. They end up there because they were never taught what healthy actually looks like. You know what nobody tells you? Unhealthy relationships don't announce themselves. They don't show up wearing a red flag like a cape. They show up looking like excitement, like passion, like someone who finally gets you. And by the time you realize what you're actually in, you're 6 months deep, emotionally invested, and wondering how you got here. Today, we're cutting through the noise. No theories, no feel-good platitudes, just concrete patterns that separate relationships that build you up from relationships that slowly tear you down. And here's the thing, these patterns show up early. You just need to know what you're looking for. Some of what I'm about to share will make you uncomfortable. Some of it might describe your current relationship. That's not a coincidence. Most people ignore these patterns because acknowledging them means they'd have to make hard decisions. But awareness is always better than comfortable ignorance. By the end of this video, you'll have a framework, a lens to evaluate any relationship you're in or considering. And if you recognize too many unhealthy patterns, you'll know exactly what that means. Let's get into it. Before we dive deep, hit that subscribe button right now. This channel exists to give you the relationship insights nobody else will. No sugarcoating, no fairy tales, just truth that actually helps. Subscribe now so you don't miss what's coming. The first pattern is the most revealing, and it shows up within weeks, not months. In a healthy relationship, there's consistency between words and actions. When someone tells you they'll call, they call. When they say you matter, their behavior confirms it. There's alignment. What they promise on Monday, they deliver on Friday. Their interest level doesn't fluctuate wildly based on their mood or who else is in their life that week. But in an unhealthy relationship, inconsistency keeps you guessing. They're intensely interested one week, distant the next. They make plans, then cancel. They say you're important, then disappear for days. And here's the killer. They always have explanations. Work got crazy, family emergency, phone issues. The excuses are endless and always sound legitimate in isolation. Here's what you need to understand. Inconsistency is not mysterious. It's a choice. People make time for what matters to them, period. When someone genuinely values you, their behavior reflects it consistently, not sporadically. The unhealthy version creates something dangerous called intermittent reinforcement. It's the same psychological principle that makes gambling addictive. You get just enough reward at unpredictable intervals to keep you hooked. One amazing date after 3 weeks of breadcrumbs makes you forget those 3 weeks existed. Track patterns over a month, not moments over a day. Does their behavior show up reliably, or are you constantly making excuses for why they're not showing up the way they said they would? Healthy love is boring in the best way. It's predictably good. Unhealthy love is exciting in the worst way. It's unpredictably chaotic. The second pattern reveals itself in how conflict gets handled. In healthy relationships, disagreements are opportunities for understanding. Both people can express frustration without the relationship feeling threatened. You can say, "I'm upset about this," and it leads to a conversation, not a war. There's no scorekeeping, no bringing up past mistakes to win current arguments. No weaponizing vulnerabilities you shared in private. When the conflict is resolved, it's actually resolved. You both move forward. But in unhealthy relationships, conflict is a battleground. Disagreements escalate into character attacks. "I'm upset" becomes "you're always like this," or "you never care." The goal isn't understanding, it's winning. And here's the telltale sign. Conflicts never actually resolve. They just go dormant until the next argument, when everything gets dragged back out. Old wounds are reopened every single time. You find yourself walking on eggshells because you know that bringing up legitimate concerns will trigger an explosion. Or worse, you'll get the silent treatment for days. That's not conflict resolution. That's emotional punishment. Here's what healthy looks like. You can disagree and still feel safe. Your partner doesn't shut down or blow up. They listen even when they're frustrated. They take responsibility for their part instead of deflecting everything onto you. And when it's over, you feel closer, not more distant. If every disagreement in your relationship leaves you feeling exhausted, anxious, or like you just survived something, that's not passion. That's toxicity wearing passion's mask. If you're recognizing patterns in your own relationship right now, drop a comment below. Sometimes just naming what you're experiencing helps clarify what you need to do next. And if this video is giving you clarity, hit that like button so more people can find this information. Let's keep going. The third pattern shows up in how your partner treats your boundaries. In a healthy relationship, boundaries are respected without resentment. When you say, "I need some time to myself," or "I'm not comfortable with that," it's honored. There might be a conversation about why, but there's no punishment for having limits. Your partner understands that boundaries aren't rejection, they're self-respect. And they want you to have self-respect because that's what emotionally secure people do. But in unhealthy relationships, boundaries are treated as obstacles. When you set a limit, you get pushback. You're too sensitive. You're overreacting. Why are you being difficult? Your boundaries get tested repeatedly to see if you'll enforce them. And if you do enforce them, you face consequences. Guilt trips, withdrawal of affection, arguments about how you don't trust them or you're trying to control them. Here's the manipulation tactic nobody warns you about. Boundary violations get framed as proof of love. If you really loved me, you'd be okay with this. If you trusted me, you wouldn't need that boundary. This is how people end up compromising their values, their comfort, their safety, all while believing they're being a good partner. Here's the truth. Someone who loves you wants you to have boundaries. They don't want access to parts of you that you're not comfortable sharing yet. They don't want you to override your instincts to please them. Because real love isn't about control or unlimited access. It's about two whole people choosing each other while maintaining their individual integrity. If your partner makes you feel guilty for having standards, they don't respect you. They want compliance. The fourth pattern reveals itself in how you feel about yourself when you're with them. Healthy relationships make you feel more like yourself, not less. Your partner sees your potential and encourages it. They celebrate your wins without making it about them. When you accomplish something, they're genuinely proud. When you're struggling, they support you without making you feel weak for needing support. You feel energized by the relationship, not drained. But unhealthy relationships slowly erode your sense of self. You start second-guessing your perceptions. You feel like you're constantly falling short of expectations you didn't agree to. Your accomplishments get minimized or turned into commentary about them. You got a promotion, that's great, but now you'll have even less time for me. You're excited about something, they point out why it might not work. Over time, you notice something disturbing. You're smaller around them, less confident, more anxious. You've started abandoning friendships because they create tension. You've stopped doing hobbies you love because they take time away from the relationship. You're morphing into whatever version of yourself keeps the peace. And here is what's insidious about this. It happens gradually. You don't wake up one day and realize you've lost yourself. It's a slow fade, a series of tiny compromises that seemed reasonable at the time, until one day you look in the mirror and barely recognize who's looking back. Healthy relationships expand you. Unhealthy relationships shrink you. It's that simple. We're halfway through, and if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because this channel is committed to giving you the unfiltered truth about relationships, the kind of truth that changes lives. Don't miss the next video. The fifth pattern is about how your partner handles your success and your struggles. In healthy relationships, your success is shared success. Your partner cheers for you without jealousy or competition. They're secure enough in themselves that your growth doesn't threaten them. And when you're struggling, they show up, not with judgment, not with "I told you so," but with support. They help carry the weight without making you feel like a burden. But in unhealthy relationships, your success becomes a problem. They feel threatened by it. They find ways to diminish it or make it about how it affects them negatively. And when you're struggling, instead of support, you get criticism. This wouldn't have happened if you'd listened to me. You always do this. I can't deal with your problems right now. Your pain becomes an inconvenience to them. Here's the test. Tell your partner about something you're proud of and watch their face. Do they light up with genuine happiness, or do you see something else? Forced enthusiasm, subtle resentment, a quick subject change. Now tell them about something you're worried about. Do they lean in and help you think it through, or do they minimize it, get irritated, or make it about themselves? The answers tell you everything. Healthy partners are safe landing places. Unhealthy partners are emotional minefields. The sixth pattern appears in how they talk about their past relationships. In healthy dynamics, people take responsibility for their part in past failures. They might say, "We wanted different things," or "I wasn't ready for that level of commitment." They acknowledge complexity. They don't villainize everyone they've ever dated. But in unhealthy patterns, everyone before you was crazy, toxic, or the problem. Every ex is painted as the villain in their story. And here's why this matters. If someone has a history where they're always the victim and everyone else is always the villain, you're looking at someone who doesn't take accountability, which means when things go wrong with you, and they will because all relationships have challenges, you'll become the next villain in their narrative. They won't examine their patterns. They won't grow. They'll just find someone new and tell them how crazy you were. Pay attention to how someone describes their relationship history. It's a preview of how they'll describe you when this ends. The seventh and final pattern is the most important. It's about the trajectory of the relationship over time. Healthy relationships have conflicts, challenges, and rough patches, but the overall trajectory is upward. You're building something, learning together, growing together, becoming better versions of yourselves through the partnership. There's forward momentum. But unhealthy relationships move in cycles. There's a blow-up, then a makeup, then a honeymoon phase where everything feels perfect, then tension builds and the cycle repeats. You keep having the same fights, the same issues resurface no matter how many times you talk about them. Nothing fundamentally changes. You're not growing together, you're just surviving together. And here's what keeps people trapped in these cycles: the highs. When things are good, they're really good. The makeup phase feels like falling in love again, and that feeling becomes addictive. You start believing that if you just try harder, communicate better, love them more consistently, you can make the good times permanent. But you can't, because the cycle isn't about you trying hard enough. It's the fundamental structure of the relationship. It's built on instability, not growth. Healthy relationships aren't perfect, but they're progressive. Unhealthy relationships aren't growing, they're just repeating. So here's what you do with this information. Look at your current relationship or the relationships you're considering and honestly evaluate these 7 patterns. Consistency between words and actions, how conflict gets handled, how boundaries are treated, how you feel about yourself, how they respond to your success and struggles, how they talk about their past, and the overall trajectory. You don't need all 7 to be unhealthy to have a problem. Even 2 or 3 should make you pause and reevaluate. Because here's the hard truth. You can't fix unhealthy patterns by yourself. Relationships require 2 people equally committed to growth and health. If you're the only one working on these patterns, you're not in a partnership, you're in a project, and people are not projects. I know some of you are watching this and feeling that sinking feeling in your stomach, the one that tells you something you've been avoiding. That's not anxiety, that's clarity. Your instincts have been trying to tell you something for a while. This video just gave them language. Don't ignore that feeling. Don't rationalize it away. Don't convince yourself that love means accepting unhealthy patterns. Love without respect, safety, and mutual growth isn't love. It's attachment. And attachment will keep you stuck in situations that slowly destroy you. You deserve consistency. You deserve to have boundaries. You deserve to feel safe in conflict. You deserve a partner who celebrates your growth instead of fearing it. You deserve a relationship that makes you more of who you are, not less. And if that's not what you have, You have decisions to make. Before you go, I need you to do 3 things. First, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications because we're just getting started. Second, like this video so it reaches more people who need to hear this. And third, comment below with the one pattern that hit hardest for you. Your comment might be exactly what someone else needs to read to finally take action. This community exists to support each other in building healthier relationships and healthier lives. Be part of that. And remember this, understanding these patterns is the first step. Acting on that understanding is where real change begins. Don't let fear of being alone keep you in relationships that make you feel lonely. Don't let sunk cost fallacy convince you to stay in something that's slowly breaking you. You get one life. Make sure you're spending it with people who add to it, not subtract from it. See you in the next video.